Hey guys, what's up? The Wandering Grunt here, and today we are going to do a bit of a review and talking about the Tactical Tailor Malice pack, specifically the version 3. Okay, the version 3. There's versions 1, 2, and 3, and really they're all about the same pack. The main difference is just a little bit of pouch configuration, and the V3 has the additional compartment at the bottom, the sleep system carrier compartment. So we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about applications, uses for it, whether or not I recommend it, everything like that, my experience with it, who this is for, all that stuff. To start with, make note, we are not discussing the tactical, I'm not talking about the straps and everything in here. I have a very specific setup for my ruck. As you can see here, these are the old school woodland shoulder straps with an alley pad, but an HSGI deal there. This is a tactical assault gear hip pad with some canteen pouches put on. This is a Tactical Tailor frame. It's an older one, but it's still the same thing. So it is a welded frame. But we're really just talking about the pack today, not the whole thing. I leave stuff like the shoulder straps and everything up. I say you need to figure out what works for you. My setup is set up very specifically to me, to where I pretty much am always wearing some sort of body armor with this, so it's set up in that way. But you can run these on Mystery Ranch frames, on regular Alice pack frames, on the Tactical Tailor Alice frames, anything you want. So we're not talking about that today. We're just talking about the main body. So as you can see here, big old pack, really big pack. And it truly is, at the end of the day, it's just an Alice pack that has been brought up to some more modern specs. Are these perfect? No. There's a few things that I would probably do and that I plan on doing, but we're looking at the pack in just its just this, how it sits, how it comes. So to start with, we'll start with the we'll start at the bottom here and work our way up. So the sleep system compartment. This was one piece that I wasn't sure about whether I should get that or not. I'm glad that I did, because this, should you not need it, the problem I found with a lot of sleep system carriers, for example, for perspective, this is a poncho, liner, and tarp Ranger rolled up in there, and it was shoved in there along with some other just random things for space. So you have quite a bit of space in there for that, but this whole thing, you can just roll it up. If you want it really tight, back these out through here. When you roll this deal up, just roll it, and it tucks out of the way very nicely, and you do retain strap, a lashing point down here at the bottom. So if you do need to put, a sked, or, you can throw your isomat down there, or whatever it is, you still got that lashing point that you could attach stuff to the bottom, and you don't have this thing hanging. I like it. I probably won't use it all the time. I prefer, again, more often than not, I have something that I could probably put down there that would be good to have there. But I like having the option, and having the sleep system carrier attached, you always have that option. Now, what I will say is that if you are a big sleep system carrier guy, this isn't going to do everything that you want. I don't think, I will confirm this, but I don't think you could fit a full modular sleep system in here. I don't think you will. Not unless, no, I don't know how that would work. So there is that to be aware of. But most of your modern, sleep systems nowadays are going to fit in here just fine. And if anything, I just like having this just for having a little bit of extra insurance space when you're when you're packing out. Everyone knows you pack your pack out, and then over time it kind of gets bigger. As your time in the field goes, you don't get stuff quite as tight. You don't roll things quite the same way. You stuff stuff in because you got to get going in a hurry. So your pack gets a little bit bigger. This is a really good thing to have just in the event that when your pack grows or you get that inevitable, oh crap, I gotta throw this thing in there. I get this extra random piece of equipment. You can either move stuff around or just throw it in here. Because again, now you have to be disciplined in having this, because one thing that you always see with people is they can't just let there be empty space in their pack. And that's an issue. So you have to be disciplined and say, okay, well, I can just have that be empty and not feel the need to fill it with crap. So that's the sleep system compartment. Really good addition there. I'll put this up. So as you can see here, we've got numerous pockets on here, lots of pockets. This thing is very pocket heavy. So on this side here, this is an add-on that's an entrenching tool carrier. Got a big zipper pocket right there, another zipper pocket there, a buckled pocket, just like the Alice pack ones right there with the pass-throughs. They are all the way through. Large middle one there, large zipper compartment there. Again, same thing, smaller zippered compartment, large or medium-sized, buckled compartment, again with pass-through. This is a hydration system carrier. And then I'll go ahead and look at this as well. Pop this off. Pull that out. You have your Claymore pocket pouch, which I have some random items in. Claymore pocket pouch. Flip your pack up. Got your lid here. You can put items in. And then the rest of this, you got your double fly, so you got your barrel, your main barrel there, and then you got your rain fly portion. And that's pretty much it, guys. That's really it. Obviously, carry handle right there. I'm going to be putting a carry handle on this frame because no matter how well made stuff is, these always tend to give out after a while. But that's it, guys. That's the pack, really. There's not a lot to it, but at the same time, there is a lot to it. When you compare this to a normal Alice pack, we've really come a long way. It keeps a lot of that heart and soul, which I like. I think some packs get way too complicated, way too many nicknoids, way too much crap going on. When really all I need is some pockets. Give me some extra pockets, some Fast X buckles. There's part of me that likes that there's no side compression straps, although I will be adding some. Having two straps to clip in and then tighten up, and then you're off to the races is really cool. But being able to lash stuff to the sides, being able to compress your load to the sides a little bit more, I think is going to be good. So I'm going to be rigging up a way to put on some side straps, especially for things like this. Like I had to have an E-tool, and I don't want to put my E-tool inside my pack because if you're an infantryman of any sort, whether it be the professional or the amateur, by the way, when I say amateur, that's not a degrading term. Professional versus amateur, the only difference is if you're paid. So if you're not getting paid to do this stuff, then you're an amateur. It's not that you're not good at it, but if you're a professional, you're getting paid. If you're an amateur, you're not getting paid. I'd like to be able to tighten that down a little bit, so I'm going to figure something out there. Really, there's not a lot to say other than, guys, if you're thinking about upgrading your pack, Let's say you're rocking an Alice pack, maybe you've got a Philby pack or something. Guys, this is a game changer. It's big, it's it's well built. I personally really like having my pouches sewn on. Yes, you lose your modularity, but nobody uses that anyway. Most of the time, the amount of times that I've sat there and really thought, man, this specific mission will go so much smoother if I just have this, swap out these one pouches. No, your sustainment load really doesn't, mission dictates gear. People have taken that a step too far, I believe. So I would recommend this heavily. Definitely think about it. The only thing that this one doesn't have that I wish it did is the radio pocket. This one does not have the radio pocket, which I can live without, but I would have really liked to. For a training ruck, it would be absolutely a deal breaker, because when you're putting weight in, I stick 45, I stick either 35 or 45 pound plates in the radio pocket, and there you go. There's a weight for your pack for ruck running, for training, things like that. But for living out of an actual field work, I can totally live. I can live without it, especially because I don't carry a radio in my pack anymore. Having all these pockets, people don't realize until you have them how awesome it is not having to dig into this big thing every single time you need something, or root through a sustainment pouch that's this big every single time you need something. Everything can have its place. Everything can go where it's supposed to go, and you've got plenty of space to make all of that happen. The zippers, I haven't encountered a single problem with the zippers. I've gotten them pretty dirty, pretty nasty, and I can't get them to fail. I've yanked on them pretty hard, gotten them a little stuck, and just kept yanking on them until they made it. I can't get anything on this pack to break, guys. Tactical Tailor knows what they're doing when it comes to building stuff, so take that for what it's worth. Moving on from there, guys, there's really not a ton to talk about on this thing. The pouches are sized right, like this here. This middle pocket is about the perfect size for a standard tarp and a ridgeline kit, and I have my stakes and everything rolled up in here. It's about the perfect size for that. In fact, I would say it is the perfect size for that. And so just something as simple as that, having that specific spot where this goes every single time, is huge, instead of just being shoved in the pack, haphazardly at random. There you go. Boom. So, things like that. By the way, if you're ever wanting to know what these pass-throughs were originally for, they're for skis. And you can also put axes and things like that in there. And in fact, these are a really good place for like an axe or something to ride. But there you go, guys. That's just my quick, down and dirty review of the Tactical Tailor Malice pack body. Very little that I would change. Again, pretty much the only thing that I would say could be improved upon would be the addition of a couple extra compression straps, like two on the side. But again, if you know what you're doing and you know how to pack, you don't really need them all that much. Still, good thing to have though. So definitely, for sure, if you see one of these pop up for sale, definitely consider buying one. I would recommend it. It's right there in that, if you're balling on a budget, can you get really far with a Philby pack and an Alice frame? Absolutely. No, for sure. The way I like to say it is the Philby pack set up correctly gets you about 80%, kind of like that 80-85% effectiveness for very little money, for like $150. This pack, as it sits right here with everything, is like a $700-800 pack. Guys, it's somewhere in there, maybe a little bit less, but at least like a $500 pack. And you're getting more towards that 95%, effectiveness. Is that worth it to you? I don't know. I can't make that determination. It was worth it for me, so I bought this, and I use it all the time. Whether that smaller, you know, it's like the point of diminishing returns. Past the Philby, the more money you spend, yes, you're going to notice some effectiveness gains, but they're not going to be as drastic as like, hey, here's a $40 JanSport, spend $100 more, and you have a Philby ruck, and you gain all of this, all this return. Your return gets smaller, but for me, it was worth it. And it was a tax write-off, which was cool. Other than that, guys, I hope you have a fantastic time. Sorry again, if it's not one thing, it's another. I was actually involved in an accident recently. Broke some bones, but they cut me up, bolted me back together. So we're hanging in there. Just some things that are a little slower going right now, but we're hanging in there. Again, we've got more stuff set up now. Our videography is getting a lot better. Instagram is up, so give me a follow on there. The links are in the bio and description and everything on the page. And I hope everyone has a great day. Thank you for watching.